Welcome back. A lot of stocks damaging the market right now. Of course, as we pointed out in the morning, the most important stock today could have been HDFC Bank, and that's what's damaging the market the most. If you look at the whole picture, if you look at the contribution plate as well, HDFC Bank, both in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. For the Bank Nifty, it has exact 33.3% weight now in the index. So that's why it's dragging the most. But right now, the big drag is coming from ITC. If you see the last 10 minutes of trade, the last bit of fall is because of ITC, and that's moved to the number two.
Also, Bosch and Tata Motors. Tata Motors also contributor.
Tata Motors also has weight in the index. So the Bosch does not have too much weight, but Tata Motors clearly has weight in the index. Let's do one thing. Let's get Ashwini Gujral as well to talk about this market then. Ashwini, welcome back. So how to approach the Nifty and the Bank Nifty and intraday stock calls now?
Well, this looks like a sideways day compared to what we had yesterday. But clearly today haven't fallen beyond the early morning kind of gap down. So today possibly banks may not do worse than this, but this is just a pause. Today what's under pressure is the pharma space. So finally those stocks are also coming under the hammer. So in terms of intraday trades, right now I think you would sell short Stride Shasun with a stop around 910, target of 865. Torrent Pharma is a sell with a stop of 1270, target of 1220. And Oro Pharma is a sell with a stop of 638, target of 615.
Ashwini, what do you make of ITC's intraday weakness?
The ITC is just something that's continuing to go down. I believe on the day of the budget it will make its final low, whatever happens. But clearly now it's quite comfortably trading below 300, and a new leg of downside should open. Maybe 260 should come in this year.
All right, Ashwini, thanks a lot for those trading ideas, and we'll come back to you at 12:30.
Okay, we now have another guest joining us to take forward the budget theme. Mr. Bobby Parikh, Chief Mentor, BMR Advisors, joins us now. Mr. Parikh, thank you very much for joining us. Without wasting any time, let me hand you over to our budget guest editor, Nirmal Jain, who is editing along with us today.
Hi, Bobby. Good morning there.
Hi, Nirmal.
Hi. In fact, I just start with our Indian tax laws are very complex, and procedures are also very, very complex and cumbersome. And our fraternity of chartered accountants make a living out of it. They must be happy that things haven't changed much in the last 2 years. What do you say?
So now this is a trick question, right? So I have to be careful about how I navigate the response to this one.
Sure.
But yeah, you're right. I think that. In my mind, I think that more than the complication in the tax laws, it's the administration of the tax laws which is where the real reform has to happen. And so yes, it is a difficult system, and it is something on which in which at least as at this point in time, change is not apparent.
Okay, let me ask you a different question then. How do you think retro tax issues can be put behind in a fair way, which is fair to the nation also and fair to taxpayers also? What would be your suggestion on that?
See, I think that so in a way, I think that the opportunity to deal with this should have been in the first budget of the government, of the current government,
right?
Because there were cases that had been that were already live. They were live on the basis of a retroactive amendment of the income tax law, which was made in 2012. And they could have said that, look, we don't believe in these retroactive amendments, and we want to abandon this, and we want to drop whatever is there, and whatever is the change in law that was made, we will apply it prospectively.
So that opportunity is lost.
Whatever must have been that opportunity is gone, and there must whatever considerations weighed in the minds of the government at that time. So the formulation that they came up with was to say that, okay, we will whatever is live, it will go through the court system, or whatever is the process that's required by law to get it to a resolution. But we will be very careful about creating any new cases which apply this law retroactively, so that there is nothing that we add to the kitty than what is already there. And if there is anything to be added, they sort of left it vague, but they said that there will be a committee which will review before anything happens and things like that.
Okay.
So now the thing is that, every time that we talk about Vodafone and whatever is happening with Vodafone now, that is not something that the government ever said that they are not going to pursue or that it will not go through some process, because that is a position that they've taken. So that is what it is. Now, as far as new stuff is concerned, there's not a whole lot which is added. And, so long as they're clear that they're not good, anyway now if things don't get added and they sort of make some kind of a commitment that we are not going to add new things, then retroactivity will really become academic with the passage of time itself.
Okay. And market has a lot of...
Then the law will really apply to transactions which are prospective rather than anything which is retroactive.
Fair enough. Let's come to what we expect in the budget. One is, do you expect any... Let me ask you two questions together. Do you expect any cut in corporate tax rates and removal of exemptions along with that? And the second question is where market is fearing that LTCG may be diluted in 1 year, the time period required for exemption may be increased to 3 years. What's your view on this in terms of, do you expect these things to happen, and whether they are, I would say that they are desirable or avoidable at this point in time?
So on the corporate tax rate, I feel like there should be some reduction. There was a 4-year sort of passage that he said he was going to set out. 1 year is already gone. He didn't do anything with that. So he's got 3 years now to bring it down from 30 to the targeted 25. So I would imagine that, that they will want to do that in a graded manner and not do it in one shot or something like that. So, I'd reasonably expect that we'd see like a percentage or 2% cut, so that intention is then starting to manifest into action, and there is a path which is then set out for how it will get to 25.
Okay.
Now he has to also remove some, to balance the books, he has to also start removing some of the incentives, and for which the CBDT had published a small white paper indicating what directionally they were thinking of doing. So I would expect that again, some of that gets more, to the extent that it has to be written into law, it starts getting written into law, and beyond that, things are more clearly articulated in his speech in terms of what the intent is, in terms of how they will move from the 30 to the 25 and what they will do with the incentives and the benefits and how they will be withdrawn, because all we have so far is a white paper, but it was more a discussion paper rather than a clear or a firm view of the government in terms of how they are going to navigate this.
So what are the most likely exemptions that will go, Mr. Parekh?
So I think that at least the white paper, CBDT white paper seemed to suggest that all the action will happen in the year ending March 17. So actually, yeah, so we are in 60-70. So from 1/4/17 is what they were sort of indicating for many of the changes to happen. Okay. So I don't know what of the elements they are looking to withdraw, or they might withdraw during 16-17 itself. But otherwise, at least what the paper seemed to suggest was that that was the kind that they were putting people on notice that is how we would like to do it. So.
And you see LTCG
plan for that as best as you can.
And LTCG getting diluted?
LTCG, I don't know. Yeah, the LTCG, I don't know. Difficult to say whether it's going to happen, not happen. Only the government will know. But I would think that it would be unhelpful to have such a construct, given everything that we are experiencing. I don't know that hurting investor sentiment or hurting their profitability is something which is really appropriate. And so there are actually this sort of goes against that another sort of alternate line of discussion or rumors which were speculations which were doing the rounds, not so much in the recent past but earlier, was that all capital gains will be replaced only by a STT and there will be no capital gains tax at all. So now, this is going, that was one sort of extreme in a way, and then this is going the other direction to make short term for unlisted shares. They already made it 3 years last year. I think to make that the same for listed shares is
okay, Bobby, just one last.
In my mind, not something that's desirable.
One last question. Is Tax Department getting a little more aggressive of late in issuing notices? I mean, what's your experience with your clients?
I think that, towards the end of the year, some of these things happen because they have to try and make the numbers, and so at least anecdotally, I hear that, there are all kinds of actions which scattered across the country, things are happening. So I don't know that is anything which is, particularly unique to what we are experiencing this year.
All right, Mr. Parekh, we'll leave it at that. Actually, this could have gone on, but we are trying to cover a whole range of budget issues. Thank you so much for joining us. Now for the break, and then that promised rail budget discussion.